Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today we're going to cover some big VTuber and art related drama, but first it is the end of the month and that means my advanced GG code is now boosted until August 4th. Use code REV30 to get 30% off your advanced GG order. Consider using it on my official flavor jar, Rocket Pop flavor that has recently returned, to save a good chunk of money on that. All the information for this will be in the pinned comment. So we're going to talk about Kevin today. Kevin is an artist who is a lightning rod for forced controversy and virtue signaling from Twitter users. He is someone we have talked about multiple times on this channel. We're going to do it once again today. So Kevin is an artist who makes VTuber assets and also rigs VTuber models, including for some people who are very popular like Mint Maid, Mataracon, and even Iron Mouse. And recently Kevin made this post which would spark a ton of drama. So it's captioned, "Do you like chubby fit Mitsuri?" And you can see his character right here, obviously inspired from Demon Slayer. But there'd be a lot of controversy surrounding this use of the phrase chubby fit and what that means. And Kevin would clarify, saying this is what he really meant by the use of that phrase. Basically, it's a skinny girl who has a little bit of a tummy or thicker thighs. However, you can see that there's nearly 4,000 quotes, most of them negative, on this post. What is going on here? Well, this isn't just about criticism of that use of the phrase chubby fit. This goes way beyond into dogpiling and virtue signaling about this post and the artist who made it. And here's a good example of how disingenuous and hypocritical a lot of this outrage is. You have this VTuber saying, "I probably got blocked for politely asking him not to advertise sexual VTuber assets using an underage character to model for it. You know, so people don't accidentally promote / like sexualizing underage characters." And of course, Curry Rinja here with the great screenshots. "Your likes may be private, but screenshots are forever." And as he points out on this VTuber's other account, they do furry art and they also have underage characters being sexualized in the likes of that account too, making them a giant hypocrite. But here is the top replies to Kevin's post. You can see this is not curated. This is just the top group here, all of them having thousands of likes and all attacking the same thing. They are all saying this character is not chubby. And one thing you can say is right off the bat, they're arguing over a phrase he didn't use. He used the phrase chubby fit, but every single person here has removed fit from that equation and now they're arguing about what is actually chubby. And you can see some people have a very subjective view of what makes a character chubby. Some people in the quotes are trying to claim this is chubby. But if you look at this comment right here, I want to single this one out for a second. They say this body is not chubby. It is a normal and healthy body. Labeling it as such perpetuates harmful stereotypes and unrealistic beauty standards. Posts like this are the reason so many people have body issues. Now, I get what they're trying to say here, and I mean this with like no flame. I'm not trying to flame this person, but the second you start comparing your real life body to an anime character, you lost. Like, you're gonna be disappointed. They're not realistic. Of course, they're hyper fit or made in a certain way because they're drawings. You can make them as perfect as you want. So this is a bad standard to work with. But while some users had some, reasonable attempts at an argument here, like they're not trying to be super disrespectful, if you go to the quotes, you see crazy stuff. You see dozens of posts like this. This user saying, "I think we should kill all men at this point." This person saying, "Game end yourself." This person saying, "I'm going to take my life in front of you." This person saying, chubby in quotes, "Just tell me to game end myself." This person saying, "This is why women keep getting diagnosed with eating disorders." So you look at these quotes and there's dozens like that and you're like, wait a second. This isn't just about criticism of the term chubby fit and how it was applied to that character. There's something going on here that's way beyond this. And this whole thing, the amount of reaction that Kevin has gotten for this post, is the result of dogpiling. People want to dogpile on him because it is the flavor of the month. Going after Kevin is something that people see as popular and safe, and they do it for clout and attention. So it's very obvious and it's reflected in a lot of the responses like this. So this user captured a screenshot of a tweet that's now deleted from another VTuber where they say, "I am begging the VTuber community to stop using him, Kevin, for rigging just because of Iron Mouse. I blocked him so long ago for the whistle and now this stuff comes up." And we're gonna hear a lot of conversation about this whistle asset in just a second here. So here's another VTuber saying this: "The chubby model drama with Kevin is pretty obvious he's trying to distract with his new Mitsuri model, so everyone forgets about his previous lolicon models / assets he's done in the past. Like, remember the R-word whistle assets? Why make that in the first place? And then this user says his work is abhorrent. People need to be shamed for stuff like this. So they're referring to an asset that Kevin made a few months ago, this sus buzzer asset. So what's this all about? Well, this came from the music video Lolly God Requiem by Shigure Ui, a very popular and well-liked VTuber. This video that the asset is inspired by has over 100 million views on YouTube. But people are not calling out Shigure Ui, who made this video, and this buzzer that inspired the asset, because that would get them backlash. Instead, they attack Kevin for his asset that's inspired by this video because it is safe. They think they can say whatever they want about Kevin because they want to join in on the dog pile. And it's very obvious their standards are very skewed. They will not call out Shigure Ui, the video that has over 100 million views, but they will very happily call out Kevin. Now, continuing on in that conversation, this person says, yeah, hope he stops getting work from VShojo at this point. This is disgusting. And then the VTuber responds saying, it would be so embarrassing for @IronMouse tagging her to get any other assets or models from him when they have such better choices in artists and riggers. So here is the issue here. It's not just about fair criticism of the term chubby fit, like I said. Now they're trying to literally hurt his bottom dollar. They're trying to hurt him financially by shaming people like IronMouse so they won't work with him anymore. That is insane. Now, I don't know IronMouse, but from the way she has publicly carried herself over the years, I think she would be very, very offended by what you're trying to do here. You are trying to shame her into basically bending to your will because you have an issue with some of the assets, the fictional assets that Kevin has made. And again, you are within your right to not like those things and to be disgusted by whatever it is, whether it's like the fact that he uses a Marin Kitagawa model for some of his assets or the assets themselves. It's fine not to like those things, but just block and move on. But instead of blocking and moving on, you try to attack, shame, and financially hurt him, which is ridiculous. It goes too far. But this whole thing of blocking and moving on, even the people who are either being blocked by Kevin or blocking Kevin themselves are still adding to the dog pile. So this artist right here says, since this is trending, I guess I should share my experience. We were mutuals and he blocked me just for commenting on his post where it was revealed that he literally uses rigging templates. Please support riggers who actually rig from scratch. So this is a very odd thing. I've seen a lot of artists comment on this, and they say using templates like this is very common. In fact, it's working smarter, not harder. Like, this is not something that should be used to shame or criticize Kevin. It's a very unfair thing to do, and it's disingenuous. They're only doing this and trying to demonize it because it's Kevin, and they're trying to attack this guy for attention on Twitter. Here's another one where this person said, I kept seeing people blocked by him, so I jokingly checked to see if I was, and I guess I am. I haven't said anything about this creator like once from what I can remember, maybe a comment from legit months ago, but nothing recent. He has to be looking up his own name and blocking everyone he sees. Not gonna lie, that's childish and cringe as hell. Not everyone's gonna like you, but he's free to block whoever he wants. I'm not upset since I never followed him. I just find it funny. Yeah, he's free to block whoever he wants, and I'm not upset, but I'm going to make a whole paragraph and a tweet about him blocking me. So people have freedom of association. They can block whoever they want on social media. If they don't want to talk to you, they don't have to talk to you, or they don't want to engage with your content or have you engage with their content, they're free to block you. That is freedom of association. But it's very odd that you're saying it's childish and cringe to block you while making a whole post talking about it. That is childish and cringe. But people would in the comments say, Kevin is nice, so I don't know. And the VTuber responds saying, I don't think he is. He makes inappropriate assets and demonstrates them on an underage character. He practically scams his clients with his rigs. And I've seen him respond to criticism very negatively most of the time. So there's a lot to unpack in a very short statement. So number one, we know what the issue is, okay? It's not about any sort of criticism. It's about the fact that you don't like some of the fictional content he uses with his assets. And on top of that, you make a claim that he is scamming his clients with a practice that is very fair. And on top of that, you say he doesn't respond to criticism well, you know what? If you were in his shoes, I think you wouldn't respond the best all the time too, because he has literally thousands of people trying to demonize and attack him for clout on Twitter. I doubt you would handle it very well too. But this user would respond saying, honestly, he's been nothing but nice. Claiming he's a scammer, you have any evidence to back that up? Because I'd honestly like to see it. Where they write a whole bunch of word salad and at no point gives any evidence that he's a scammer, basically just saying they have a hunch that he is because they don't like him. Moving on, another person would try this tactic, saying since he's finally catching heat, I'll just drop this here. And it's the fact that Kevin is following this End Wokeness account. So they're literally follow policing him now. That's how low it is. Like, that is the lamest thing I've ever seen. A follow doesn't equal an endorsement, by the way, and it's a very, very cringe thing to do. Like, follow policing, that's super lame, and it's a very weird standard. It's basically saying, like, you vouch for everything that account says if you follow for them. It's a really weird standard to work with. But on top of that, we would see some people respond, and I think an actually productive way. So a lot of people are talking about the definition of chubby, right? And what characters look like chubby, what makes a character chubby. It's obviously a subjective standard. But instead of attacking Kevin over his chubby fit post, this person leads by example, and they make their own interpretation of what they think a chubby / plus size model looks like, and they have it right here. However, even this would attract toxicity from people who are angry about Kevin, where this person would say, here, fixed it up for you, here's some key things you got wrong. And they would literally do a I fixed your art moment right here, where the artist would reply saying, look man, while I very much appreciate your input, I didn't ask for you to directly fix my art. You could have just told me your input without touching my drawing. Chubbiness have different sizes and body shapes to it. It's not a specific shape. I understand if you're not happy with my work, and I happily told people I'll do more body shapes for plus size models soon, but that doesn't give you the right to revise my work, which is a very fair and appropriate response to what this user was doing, who would deflect all of the criticism launched at them by saying, sorry, I have autism. Well, eventually Kevin would make a follow-up to all of this stuff, explaining what's going on and why they're blocking certain people and what their thought process was with all of these posts. So Kevin says this: different body standards exist. You are quickly projecting and forcing your own onto others. I struggle to gain weight and my art style leans towards skinny. I think chubby is super adorable and my ideal is obviously different from yours. We all have body problems in real life. I don't know you, I don't represent you, nor am I an authority or your therapist. Deal with it. Also, I blocked you because you use slurs, attack, harass, gossip, and accuse me of R-word and pedo. Your profile is filled with vile words, and you clearly don't enjoy my sense of humor. Here is your explanation. Go check the boxes yourself. To my soldiers, stay tuned for more epic content. You ain't seen nothing yet. What I'm about to do with this character. In fact, they would make another post after that jokingly saying, guys, what song is this, and why is what is she holding? Should I make a VTuber asset? Obviously, poking fun at the controversy they got into a few months over that asset. But anyways, that's going to do it for this situation. Obviously, another round of unhinged users dogpiling on Kevin because they want clout. At the end of the day, like I said multiple times in this video, it's not about any sort of fair criticism. It's not about actually caring about these specific things. It's about harassment and dogpiling for attention and clout on Twitter. And Kevin is just the latest target for people to do that towards. And again, if people would give this sort of energy that they gave Kevin's post about body shaming and all these issues to legitimate bad areas like on Twitter and TikTok, where eating disorders are glorified by people in big accounts, and there's just terrible body shaming, anorexia, like people literally starving themselves to death. There is a lot of really bad people in those spaces, and I wish they would direct their attention towards those legitimate bad actors instead of Kevin, who's just making a VTuber asset and model and using a term chubby fit that people are misinterpreting and chopping off at just chubby. But anyways, That's going to do it for this video. I'll put a link to Kevin's account in the description. Make sure to check it out. Check out his VTuber assets and his art as well. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comments section down below. And I'll see you guys next time.